Hello and welcome to module number 5, where you're going to learn how to multiply your clients with testimonials. So let's talk about testimonials. Why are they important? Why do they matter? It seems like today, anytime you go to a website, you're going to see some form of a testimonial on there. So why are all these different businesses using it in their marketing? I believe that there are two great benefits to using testimonials. And the first one is what we marketers call social proof or social credibility. And what that means is psychologists have proven that when we see a bunch of people taking a certain action or doing a certain thing, it validates that behavior in our minds and we automatically assume it's correct. So what that means for you is that when people go to, let's say, your Yelp account, if you have a Yelp account, and they see that you've got a bunch of great reviews there, that automatically is going to start to kind of sink into their brain and going to make them trust you a little bit more, just because it's social credibility, it's social validation based on what others are saying about you. So that is extremely powerful. Now, the second benefit to you is testimonials help people overcome objections to doing business with you. So what that means is that people are naturally going to kind of come up with reasons why they should question your product or service or question working with you. So let's take this for example. I'll use my own personal life. A lot of times I see a product or service out there, I'm interested in buying it, but in my head, I kind of talk myself out of it. I say, oh, that sounds really great, but I don't know if I can really, trust it. I don't know if the results will be as great for me as what they're saying they'll be. And you kind of do this thing in your head where you create scenarios on why it's not going to work for you. Now, testimonials have the ability to help people and help me in this example overcome those thoughts, because I'll see people who I can relate to and how they've kind of overcome those objections and pain points. So that's another reason why you'd want to use testimonials in your marketing. So I also wanted to share with you, I did a lot of research on this topic, just some stats that I found on the power of testimonials. So Search Engine Land, not sure if you're familiar with them, they're a major news outlet for social media news, did a survey, and they found that 88% of participants have read reviews to determine the quality of a local business. So that's huge, 88%, almost 90%. They also found that 72% of consumers say that positive reviews make them trust a local business more. Now, we all know in real estate that trust is huge. It's one of the #1 factors that determine whether or not someone's going to do business with you is, can I trust this person? So testimonials have been proven that they can really have a positive impact on building that trust. Now, another stat I found was that 88% of consumers say that they trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. That stat really blew me away. You will always think that a personal recommendation is going to be way more important or have way more weight than something you just see online, but their study suggests that it actually is looked at evenly and equal. So that's another, those are all compelling reasons why we should consider putting ourselves out there, getting reviews, getting testimonials to really just enhance our marketing efforts. And I think, the bottom line here is that we're in a new era of marketing where we are not necessarily in control of our brand, but our brand is defined by those who experience it. And so testimonials and reviews are going to be a way that you can share what that experience is in a meaningful way. So now that we've kind of covered why testimonials matter, I want to talk to you about where to get the testimonials and how many you should get. So where do you get testimonials and how many testimonials should you get? So I created a list here. I kind of, did some research, all the different options that you have out there for capturing testimonials online. I'm going to go through them right now and kind of explain some of the benefits. And then we're going to talk about how many testimonials you should try to get on any one of these channels. So first we've got Facebook reviews. So if you have a Facebook page and you're set up as a local business, you have the option to allow people to review you there. And I really like Facebook reviews because one of the big issues with capturing reviews or testimonials is that, maybe somebody doesn't have an account set up and they have to take a lot of extra steps in order to just even give you a review. So Facebook makes it really easy. Almost everybody has a Facebook account. At least everybody I know in business does. So that could be one really good option for you that makes it easy for your clients to offer great reviews for you. And if you're focusing your marketing and using Facebook a lot, then definitely you want to put a little bit of attention there. So the next one is LinkedIn recommendations. So LinkedIn can be a great source of reviews. You would do that through their recommendations option. It makes it really easy to go through their system and reach out to people who are connected with you and ask for reviews. The only downside to LinkedIn is that you can't get reviews from your company profile, so you'd have to do it from your individual profile. Just keep that in mind. So YouTube reviews. I love video. We've talked about this a lot. And I love video for testimonials. So it's a little bit more challenging to get your clients to go on camera, but if you can swing it and you can make it happen, I really encourage you to have them upload a quick little 2-minute video talking about how great you are, and then they can send you the YouTube link and you can add that to your channel. If that doesn't work and they don't have a YouTube channel, you can also keep, your phone right here, we all have one, on you, and offer to come over to your client's house and film a quick video with them. That might make them feel a little bit more comfortable. You can have a little bit of fun with it, and then you have that great piece of material that you can upload to your own YouTube channel and use very broadly across all your marketing. So the next thing I wanted to talk about are local search directories. So this would be something like your Yelp, your Google Places, your Yahoo Local, Merchant Circle, City Search, anything like that. Now, these are really powerful in helping boost your SEO and help you getting found or help you get found online. So if you're really concerned about your SEO, you want to try to pull people in who are just searching online, definitely consider using something like Yelp. And the last one I want to talk about are real estate specific websites. So this is your Zillow, your Trulia. Most realtors I know have an account with these, one of these or both of these websites. You can go on and easily accept reviews from your clients that way. And while these options are not going to drive as much online traffic as, say, Yelp, what they are really good at is driving qualified leads to you, because most of the people who are on Zillow and Trulia checking out realtors, they're seriously looking to buy or sell. So those leads are going to be a little bit more qualified. You're just not going to get as many of them, say, from something like Yelp. So those are all the different options you have to choose from to use in your marketing as a way to capture testimonials online. Now let's talk about how many you should try to get. So I did a lot of research on whether or not there's a magic number of testimonials. So when people come to your Yelp account or your Zillow account, how many testimonials should you have in order to convince them hey, this is a legitimate business? Is there a magic number? Does it matter? Does it not matter? So I did some research, and my research suggests that the more positive reviews, the better. But there is a number that you should aim to at least meet, and that is 10. So in my research, I found that 85% of customers are satisfied with 10 reviews or more. And the reason being is because that's about how many reviews they look through when they're judging whether or not they want to work with someone. So just keep that in mind. That should be a goal that you should aim for if you're not there already. Okay, so we just covered how many testimonials you should try to get, but we haven't talked about how many different platforms you should be collecting testimonials on. I'm going to argue that you should try to stick with between 1 and 3. So go back to that list that we just covered and try to pick the top 3 that you think you'll get the most testimonials from. And the way you're going to want to pick these are based on the channels that you're most invested in and that you get the most maybe inquiries and engagement on. So for example, if you're getting a lot of inquiries from Facebook or you're getting a lot of leads from Zillow, then you're going to want to focus on those 2 channels. Now, if you're not that advanced yet and you don't really know where your traffic's coming from or you're just getting started, I'm going to encourage you to pick 3. And I'm going to encourage you to pick them across multiple channels. So I would say you would pick one in the local search directories field, so maybe something like Yelp. Then you would pick one social channel, so something like Facebook, and then you would pick another real estate website channel, and that would be, say, Zillow. So that's going to give you a nice broad reach across these different outlets, and you're going to get the SEO benefits from Yelp, you're going to get the social engagement from Facebook, and you're going to get the real estate specific channel from Zillow. So that's where I would encourage you to start. So how do you get testimonials? You had a great experience with your client, you served them really well, they were extremely satisfied with what you did for them, and we just assume, right, that they're going to go online and they're going to give us a great review, or they're going to send us an email telling us how wonderful we are. But the fact is that we're all busy, people forget, and it just doesn't happen. You have to be very proactive if you are going to really try and commit to capturing testimonials. So I'm going to share with you some tips that will help your success rate with getting them from your clients. So tip number one is you gotta make it easy. People are busy and they don't have time to search all over the web to try to find you. So I suggest sending them an email with direct links to, like I mentioned, 1 to 3 places that they can share a testimonial for you. You don't want to overwhelm them with options because then they won't know what to do, or if they're supposed to leave you a review on all of them. Anything you can do to make it as simple as possible and as straightforward as possible is going to help boost your success rate. My next point is that timing is everything. You can't wait 6, 7 months, a year to ask for a testimonial. You really need to ask for it immediately after the transaction closes. So I'm going to share with you a little system that I follow that I think you should use in your business that is going to help you make sure that you're staying on top of this and you're actively pursuing opportunities to get testimonials. So within a week of working with a buyer or seller, I want you to go through this process. So step one is to call the client and check in on them. See how they're doing, see how the new home is, etc. Follow up with them. And while you're on the phone with them, do an oh by the way, where you say to them how much it means to you to work with them and how great the experience was, and share with them that you rely on positive reviews from your past clients and recommendations in order to grow your business, and that it would mean the world to you if they could take a couple minutes out of their time to write a testimonial or a review for you. And while you're on the phone, let them know, hey, I'm going to send you a follow-up email once we get off the phone. It'll have everything you need in the email in order to submit your testimonial. So do that first, hang up the phone, immediately send them an email with all this information spelled out. I've included a template that you can use and customize for your business within this program, so you don't even have to think about the copy to write. You literally just have to plug in your information. It's super simple. And you're going to want to send that out, and then if you don't hear anything back within 5 business days, I want you to follow up with a quick text checking in with them saying, hey, just wanted to make sure you got the email, haven't seen anything yet, just let me know if you need help. I'm here to help you navigate this process if it's difficult for you, but just wanted to say again, it was great working with you, and I'd really appreciate it if you could go ahead and submit that testimonial. That process right there should guarantee that 90% of the people that you reach out to will in fact actually submit a quality testimonial for you. Now, my last point here is I want you to actually search for testimonials. So once you've been super proactive in asking for them, the next step is there's a lot of great comments and reviews on your business that might exist out there that you aren't capturing and you don't know about. And so what I'm talking about is people who post comments on your social media like, hey, I just worked with so and such, they did a great job. It may not be an actual Facebook review, but there might be little snippets that you can use throughout your different social networks that I want you to take screenshots of and actually save for your marketing materials. Another great place to find these testimonials or kind of reviews of your business is via email. If you worked with someone and they sent you an email gushing about how amazing you were, make sure that you're saving this email somewhere so you can start to kind of build this archive of all these different testimonials and feedback that you're getting. So you don't have to just go out and ask for them. I want you to do that every time you work with someone, you have a great experience. but chances are you have a lot of information that exists out there already that you can pull and start using immediately. So what makes a good testimonial? Is it enough to just leave it up to your clients to write anything and everything about your business, or should we be trying to focus this feedback? I'm going to argue that we should be trying to focus the feedback, and that there are two things that really make a great testimonial. The first thing is being specific about the person who is submitting a testimonial. So I want us to stay away from trying to use anonymous testimonials in our marketing. For me, when I see that, and I think a lot of people when they see that, it immediately creates doubt in my mind. I start to think about, why aren't they using this person's name? Why aren't they telling me who actually said this great thing about their business? It kind of discredits what you're trying to do. And another way to look at it is, so just kind of think about yourself, and when you're looking through reviews on a website, if you saw an anonymous review, you'd probably kind of just dismiss it and think like, oh, maybe they just made that up, or maybe they didn't get permission from someone to use it and that's why they're not including the information. On the contrary, if you saw that they had a great testimonial from, say, somebody named Jane Draper, who lived in your hometown, who was an elementary school teacher, and they had a nice headshot of Jane, and you could see that she was, about the same age as you, you're gonna immediately feel way more connected to that testimonial and that person, because it humanizes it, and it allows you to put yourself in their shoes and kind of see the business through this person's perspective, and you're immediately going to trust it more. So make sure that you're super intentional about getting permission to use these testimonials that you're capturing, and that you're including a person's name, where they live, what they do for a living, and a picture or a video if possible. So those are really important. Now, the second thing that makes a powerful testimonial is making sure that you're also specific about what you helped solve. Like, what problem did you help solve? What objection did you help someone get over? So it's not enough to just have the fluffy talk, so-and-so was so great, they did an awesome job, I'll work with them again. We need more substance than that. So I want you to really try to frame how you're asking for testimonials, so you're getting this juicy information of substance, and you're kind of steering away from like the fluffy talk. So I've come up with a couple questions that you can include and that are in the email template I want you to send out when you ask for testimonials. And these are going to kind of help get people thinking about what they should write about you. And it's going to help you get better, stronger testimonials. So I'm going to run through those questions right now. I want you to ask, why did you hire me to represent you in the sale or purchase of a home? I also want you to ask, what did I do best to help you buy or sell? The next question is, how is my responsiveness and communication with you throughout the sale or purchase of a home? And that's really important, because we know one of the number one things that people look for in an agent is someone who's going to be responsive and communicate really well with them. So it's important that you can convey that through your testimonials. And the last question is, would you recommend my business, and if so, why? So obviously we want to know if they would recommend us again. And then lastly, you can just kind of include, this isn't really a question, but just anything else you'd like to add, feel free. And that's where the fluffy, kind of more touchy-feely good stuff can come into your review. Like I said, I think that's okay, but that can't be it. You can't just have a bunch of reviews talking about how great you are. We really need to address specific things that you've done to help people throughout the real estate process. How should you deal with negative reviews? Oh yeah, we're gonna go there. This is the number one fear that people have when they start thinking about whether or not they're gonna put themselves out there and start collecting testimonials online. So I'm gonna argue that this fear shouldn't be the only thing that's holding you back, because if you have a negative experience with someone, whether you have a Yelp account or not, they're gonna find a way to go online and say something negative about your business. That's just how these people are, and that's okay. I don't want that to be something that's completely holding you back. What I will say is that while you can't control everything that people are going to say about you, you can moderate the conversation, and you can strategically navigate it in a way where you come out on top. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. So if you do have a negative review out there, the #1 thing you need to do is respond to it in a professional manner. So I suggest if someone's online and they're saying something about that you did that they didn't like, or they just had a negative experience, jump on there, quickly write a note so that everybody can see it and say, hey, such and such, I'm sorry that you had this experience with my business. I really do strive to go above and beyond for my clients. I would love to talk to you offline about how we can make this better and how we can repair this relationship, because I do value you, I do value your feedback, and I never want a client to walk away feeling the way you say you're feeling. So that's a great way for you to show the world that you care about what your clients think, whether they're a good client or a bad client, and that you're being proactive in solving the problem, because people have the ability to kind of filter through some of this. Like, I know when I go to a place and I see they have, say 20 reviews and 18 of them are positive and 2 of them are negative. I'm gonna weigh the negative with the positive. I'm gonna look at the positive and what everybody is saying that's great about the business, and then the negative. And then I'm gonna make an informed decision after considering all that factors. Now, I know that sometimes people are just hard to please, and maybe they just had a bad day and they went online and they ranted. So I'm not gonna let those 2 negative views totally turn me off from a business. So I think we need to have a little bit more faith in consumers and their ability to kind of sift through and come to a balanced decision based on the information that's out there. So don't get too hung up on that. And that's another reason why I want you to respond, because they'll see that as oh, this person is really engaged here and they're trying to make the situation better. And really, that's all we can ask for, because we all make mistakes sometimes. That's gonna happen. The biggest thing we need to be focused on is, what are we learning from that mistake? How are we improving it so it doesn't happen again? And that's what people want to see. So once you've responded, the next thing I would say is not something that you should do, but more something you should not do. And that is, do not get into it with people online. We've all seen the horror stories of people or businesses who have responded to a negative complaint with anger or, bashing the customer, and it's just turned into this crazy thing that just completely discredits the business and makes everyone think that they're pretty much a joke. So make sure that, you don't respond in a way that's emotional or coming from anger. You want to be very polite and professional, and again, take it offline, and that's where you can kind of really get to the bottom of the issue. My last tip for you is to trust your community and let your community defend you. So the great thing about social media is, for every 1 negative person, you might have 100 advocates or fans. Those people will have your back and they will jump on and defend you. So just trust that your community will do that, and that they will help kind of create a more balanced view of your business. So, and the last place that you can use your testimonials is in your print collateral marketing. That's a great place to just add it in and add a little extra color and oomph to your marketing. So yeah, definitely want to make sure that you are not just leaving your testimonials online. That's a great place for people who maybe don't know you very well to see who you are and get a little snapshot of how you do business, but you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of this and including it on all these different touch points. All right, so now I'm going to share with you what action steps I want you to take after completing and watching all of module number 5. So action step number 1 is going to be to decide what online platforms you want to use to capture reviews. Like I said, I want you to pick between 1 and 3. And I want you to make sure that your account is active, it's in good standing, and it's completely filled out. So that's the first thing I want you to do. The second thing I want you to do is make a list of all the clients that you've had a great experience working with over the past year. And I want you to send them that email template that we talked about and use that formula to reach out to them and try to capture a testimonial. This is for all of you who maybe haven't been so good about following up with your clients up until this point and haven't really had a system for capturing testimonials. Now, if you are good at this, you don't have to do this step. Just make sure that everybody that you've recently worked with, you've reached out to, and that you've made an effort to secure a testimonial from them. And the last action step is to create a folder in a system to start capturing and storing these. So I like to use Dropbox or Google Drive, but just make sure that you have a place where you can store all this information so that when you do want to update your website or something like that, you have a place that you can go to where all this information is organized.